Hello everybody and welcome to another interview of No Wrong Path. Really enjoying doing this series, and it feels quite apt at the moment. We are recording this one on Monday the 17th of August, so we are slap in the middle of exam results season, and there's lots of challenges with A-levels and GCSEs, so I'm really looking forward to speaking in more detail to Karen. Karen, welcome to our No Wrong Path little Zoom interview room, the online world that we're in. We normally meet face to face, but this is the new world now.
Thanks for inviting me, Ruth.
Yeah, you're looking very trendy there with your little headsets on.
Thank you.
Out like you're about to go on stage.
I promise not to sing.
It'd be worse if I sang, seriously. I'm going to introduce you to Karen. We'll get her really to do all of the talking, and I know that she's got some really valuable insights to help people. So Karen, let's start off with the first question, all about school. How was school for you? Did you enjoy it, and did you know what you wanted to do?
I did enjoy school. I did enjoy school, but it was probably more the social life than thinking about my qualifications. I did know what I wanted to do. I wanted to go into catering, and I wanted to join the army.
Wow, okay.
Up until I was about 14, and then I decided that I didn't want to join the army, but I was still looking at going into catering, hotel management and things like that as well.
Okay. So what put you off the army first?
Too much regiment, being told what to do.
Yeah.
Because I was a bit of a difficult teenager.
Right.
So I decided that I wanted to go to college after I left school.
Okay. So we'll fast forward and then we'll go back. So today, please tell people what you do.
I am the quiz coordinator, quiz leader for South Staffordshire College. Would you like me to talk a bit about what I do?
I was just about to say, so catering, what happened?
I think what happened was that as you go through your career journey, things change.
Yeah.
So for me, I love the hotel, I love the catering, but as I got a little bit older, everybody else seemed to be enjoying themselves at weekends.
Yeah.
So I decided,
unsociable, isn't it?
Yeah. So I decided that probably 21, I started looking into other options that my qualifications could sort of link into. So I looked at retail management, and sort of looked around what transferable skills. I didn't go into retail management. I did have a couple of graduate interviews, but that sort of didn't happen. And then probably at the age of 28, after I had my daughter, things changed a little bit. I wanted something with a bit more money, something to have more of a social life with my family.
Okay, so just to sort of recap on where you've come to, so to speak, at that point. So you left school. You went to college, did you?
I did. I went to a local college.
Did you do catering?
I did, but I was one of the young people, which is probably quite important at this moment in time. I didn't get my GCSEs.
Okay.
I wanted to go on to a level 3 qualification, but I didn't get my 5 GCSEs.
Okay.
So I was the scenic young person, where I went on to a level 1 BTEC. I went on to a level 2. I went on to a level 3. And I still wanted to learn more, so I actually did a HND as well. So I was at college for about 5 years.
What was your HND in?
It was hotel management.
Wow. And so how long did you do hotel management and that catering up until you say 28?
It was 28 where I decided I wanted a job with a bit more money, a bit more career. I know it's a career, but I just wanted something that was a little bit different.
And what did you do then? So you looked at your transferable skills, and what role did you end up doing?
I actually ended up getting a job as a recruitment consultant.
Did you?
I did.
Into my world.
Yes.
And how long did you do that for?
I did that for 14 months, but I started off on the industrial desk. So I was
Yeah.
doing sort of like 7 till 6 every day. And then
Yeah.
because of my catering knowledge, I helped set up a catering department. So I used to recruit staff, obviously chefs, bar staff, waiting on staff. So we used to supply staff to Hensford Football Ground, West Bromwich Albion.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
yeah, and I used to train the staff in like silver service. And when I worked at the recruitment agency, I actually wanted them to sort of put them through a qualification, because a lot of them were college students.
Yeah.
And at the time, recruitment, it was a bit like they didn't shape the staff so much.
No.
So they basically said no to me. So at that point, I started looking. I knew that I wanted to support young people into employment.
Yeah.
So that's when I started looking, and I applied for a job with a training provider.
Right. Okay. And moved into offering that training service, did you?
Yeah, so the mentoring side of looking
Right.
at working a lot with young people that didn't enjoy school, that may have been
Brilliant.
excluded. So it's getting them back into that education again, and looking at
Brilliant.
why it's important for those qualifications.
So
And
how long have you,
skills.
oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
How long have you done your current job for then?
I left the training provider and went to work for the career service.
Yeah.
And I worked for the career service for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then I've been working at South Staffordshire College for 10 years on the 1st of November this year.
Wow. Two very long stints.
Mm.
And so then if you looked at that 10 years ago, were you job changing through the last recession that we all went through?
I was actually made redundant as part of
Right.
the last recession. I worked for Connection Staffordshire.
Right.
And there was quite a lot of us were made unemployed at that time, which was really hard, because it really knocks your confidence.
Yeah.
Because you think why me, when you've worked for a company for so long.
Because you've been with them 10 years, had you?
Yeah.
Wow. And it seems strange at that point that you were there to help people and we were going through a recession, and then you were being made redundant as well.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think it is, and I think I think if the main thing I could put across to people is that, you have got the qualifications, you have got those skills, transferable skills. It's about thinking outside the box. And I think, whoever's made redundant, you do take it personally, and it's not to do with you as a person. It's just part of that process. And sometimes it does take a while to build that confidence up again, to actually find another employer who sees the skills
And the value.
and the value in you. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I think it's so hard, isn't it, for you and I to sit here today and say, it is about the job role. It is when people are made redundant, it's not the person that gets made redundant, it is the job role, and it is a commercial decision that a business makes. But you're dealing with people. We're a people business, aren't we? So that is really, really difficult to not feel personal and not feel that it's on you. How did you cope with being made redundant in the recession, and what helped you get through that? Obviously securing another job, but in the process.
I think also sometimes it's looking at your networks that you've got, so people that you've worked with. It's about, how I got my job is because part of my previous job, I was actually working with the college, so they knew me as a person, and they'd got some jobs that they were advertising. So obviously I had to interview for them. But it's about, sort of like you say, remember, sort of like stepping back and actually sort of looking at, okay, this is what I've done, this is what I want to do, but it's making sure that you're looking after yourself as well, your well-being. And I think for me, it was being able to talk to my friends, my family, and being open and honest with them, because
Yeah,
it does knock your confidence, but it's about believing in yourself and
yeah,
being surrounded by positive people supporting you,
yeah.
because it can affect your emotional well-being. It can affect that, and it took me
And
a while.
and I think, if you've got a good set of friends and family and a good, your mini community, if you like, you can reach out to those, but only if you're comfortable to have that voice to say I'm struggling. So there'll be a lot of people out there that may be finding themselves in this situation for the very first time, and they have got a good set of friends that they may, I was going to say, go down the pub with, when we
Yeah.
used to go down the pub a little bit more socially. And you'd go down, you'd pass the time of day, but this is a very different conversation, isn't it? And sometimes you can feel very vulnerable by saying I'm struggling.
Yeah, I think also as well, it's looking at what other support there is locally as well. So like yourself,
Mhm.
what you've been offering, also the National Career Service website as well. You
Yeah,
know, it's sort of finding that information. I think because of the job that I did, I knew where I could go. So if I wanted a careers appointment, careers interview, or I knew where to go. Things like, speaking to somebody about your career and, what you offer yourself, Ruth. There's lots of other, agencies out there who will look at all your skills that you've got. How does that link into other jobs? And I
yeah,
think because I at the age of 21, I did go and have a careers appointment,
yeah,
to look at where I'd come to some crossroads. Did I go left? Did I go right? Or did I actually go straight on? So I think to anybody who's listening to this, if you haven't got that support or you haven't got that network, please look at other people that who could support you in
yeah,
looking at that
yeah,
process. Sort of getting you to step back and actually look at, what can you offer? It might be a total change of career.
yeah,
It might be
yeah,
something that you've always wanted to do, and
yeah,
this might be the great opportunity where you could.
yeah. It's that transferable skill time, isn't
Yeah,
it? And I think, again, if you're finding that this is a very new situation for you, you are an adult, and I'm going to refer to that as adults because we'll talk a little bit about students in a moment. But
yeah,
if you're an adult and you've been in the world of work and this is very, very new to you, I think one of the things that I've really noticed over what's been going off in COVID times is everybody genuinely wants to help people.
yeah,
There is a genuine let's try and help, because it's such a tough situation out there and everybody's pulling together. 11 years ago, certainly LinkedIn wasn't as strong as it
no,
is now. There is a more online community and you can connect with people, can't you, that will help you,
yeah.
that you might have never met before.
And I think that's one good thing about, like you say, LinkedIn. I always encourage, anybody who contacts me about careers is making sure that they have got a LinkedIn profile as well. And
Yeah,
even our learners, students that have left the college, you know, if they're doing work experience, get it on LinkedIn. So,
yeah,
like you say, LinkedIn, that there is a community there are helping people that are being made redundant,
yeah,
or may not be made redundant, but they actually have enjoyed the sort of the slow pace of COVID, and they're looking at changing their careers.
yeah, absolutely. It is that career transition, isn't it? We just
Yeah,
spoke earlier and said, we're both working a little bit at home, a little bit
yeah,
in the office, and that's how it will carry on. But some people who could be working in factories and are
yeah,
still doing that commute might be thinking, do you know what, maybe now's the time for a change.
yeah.
So what advice would you give? So two parts really. First of all, what advice would you give to any additional advice to somebody who's been made redundant? And then secondly, my part would be the graduates and the students that are receiving their A-level results, and their GCSE results at the moment, and maybe things aren't going quite to plan. What advice would you give to them?
I think we've already spoken about it. I think especially if have been made redundant, is to seek what support is out there for you local. It might not even be locally. Like we've already talked about the National Career Service website. I do know that there's been, I know that next week is the 24th and the 25th. They're offering virtual career fairs. So I think there's lots of opportunities for you to access support. Even as a college, if you're looking at doing distance learning or you're looking at part-time courses, we are there to support and offer. Look at your transferable skills. It might be that we have a conversation virtually, but there's lots of support out here, same as young people with the A levels and the GCSEs. It's about looking at those, the qualifications that you've done, but also especially GCSEs, which is on Thursday. It's about really, there's no wrong path, like you've said, Ruth. There isn't. It might be that you might be somebody like me that you haven't done as well as you thought. But actually, your career journey might be, a bit like mine, a bit like twisty-turny. But that's okay, and that's what we always say, is that there is no wrong course. There's options. I mean, when I worked in schools, I always used to do the talks at year 9, options, year 10 and year 11. And I've always said, all you can do is your best, and then once you get your qualifications, it's then looking at what you can do with those. And any college, looking at apprenticeships, there are options out there for everybody. But it might be that, it's not what you expected. But actually, as long as you know where you're going, it might, a bit like me, went to college for 5 years, so it might be a bit of a scenic, but I think there's,
I like that phrase, a scenic route.
Yes,
I really do.
Mine was a very scenic route.
I like that, and I will put a couple of other links in the post on LinkedIn, because we'll certainly put Staff's College in so that we can showcase what you guys are offering. I also think there's a great video that you've probably seen by one of the influencers, as they're called now, but Jay Shetty does a whole thing about, it's your time, it's your clock, it's your path. It doesn't matter, you don't follow the same path as everybody else.
And I think that's a really good video, because I
love it,
and so do I, because everybody's different. I mean, I've got a daughter, she's 25 at the moment, and she's always saying to me, so and so's doing this, so and so's doing that. And it's like I said to her, sometimes things happen where you change course. Sometimes it may not be what you expected, but I think, like you say, there's people's journeys is their journey. So like, coming back to what I would say to people is, remember, this is your time. Nobody can do your journey for you. It may be that it might take a little bit longer than somebody else, but I always say as well, sometimes, yes, it's great to have those qualifications, but sometimes it's about passion, sometimes it's about enthusiasm, and it's about having that drive to actually, to prove to yourself that actually you can do something.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I think you've just summed that up lovely. There's several things that I will be using, the scenic thing definitely, but also look at you, your careers lead now within a college, and you started when you came out of school and wanted to go into catering. Look how different that is, and it's your path, and you're doing something that you obviously love.
I do.
Karen, thank you so much for your time. Really, really enjoyed chatting with you. And I'll pop those additional links into our video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Karen will be tagged in, so you can connect with her or ask any more questions. I'm sure she'd be happy to answer anything regarding courses or anything that people within Staffordshire could learn from. Thanks again, Karen.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.